They know what Tank said. I got the that live in the mansion. They know what that. I got some that's up in the jet.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, we head up to Jacksonville for the Jags home opener. To bring it to you, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here. And
what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. If you got to fight against that, they've got to come out ready to play.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very Andrew Luck. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
What you got? Huh? What you got? Huh?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll fake it. Now Love. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a play fake, and it's locked. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Avery Jones He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go. He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
After the interception, it's Love. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Oh, good move. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And now out come the Jags. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
No. Check. Patriot. Over.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week: 11 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
And that explosive run right there reminds me that last week ran the ball really well, so they're continuing to do what they did in the previous game: run the ball and run it successfully. Expect that to continue throughout this one.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Room to run again. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Open man right side is Sharp. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 more there and another 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. And I guess, partner, you call that a covered sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. But he's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
One quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, that's Mack, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He'll drop to throw. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. They go play action here, 1st down. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And as a 1st-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction.
And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Lambo to add on the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a second down. A shotgun snap for Love. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Colts on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Love. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Luck now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Luck throwing again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing on third down, Luck. Open man is Darius Fountain. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Luck now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Again, Luck. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
2nd and 10, Luck again. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Colts on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing again is Luck. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Lambeau will put this one through. So you want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You circle the Pro Bowl. Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll set up to throw. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down again.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on second down is Locke. And Daniels has it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Block on third down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Taking it about the 16. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Elsewhere, they have gone to the second half in Carolina. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun on third down, Locke trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time, and that's another great play to come away with the football.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Luck on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's Matt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, Luck. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. It's the Colts. So they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we... Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow delivery pace.
I am speechless. I'm without speech. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Detroit! Detroit! 4 down, check, check.
Delay of game, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Oh, he's got a little daylight. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited until the fourth quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go, here we go. Throw left, throw left.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And
when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he had a nifty little deke juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
Sunday, set, 380. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Set, 380.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Jacksonville, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.